Now, I knew our next guest when he was a struggling artist in his downtown East Side art studio called the Church of Pointless Hysteria. Now, surrounded by his growing collection of 8,000 vinyl records, he's expanding the boundary of poetry in our technologically challenging and changing world. He makes poetry from spam. He finds beauty and drama in big data. He excavates cyber middens. His doctoral dissertation explores recycling information waste, climatic change in cyberspace, automated poem generators, and post-person authorship. Please welcome spoken word artist Kedrick James.
I'm plugging in my good friend here, in some cases my other board. This is, of course, now an integral part of my entire creative enterprise. I came here on an idea that I would speak to you a little bit about big data. And in terms of big data, we all know that big data is following us around. Big data is telling everybody where you are right now and what you're doing and what you bought in the bar. We know you did. So in trying to wrestle with these ideas of big data, one of the interesting things is what it's doing to language. We heard from Trevor, and I too come out of the field of education and language in education, and what's really striking us is that kids are learning a lot about how to use language long before they enter schools. They're learning because they have lots of devices that are connected to networks, and those networks are providing them with teachers, ready teachers. We might start to think in an age where we are starting to recognize the significance of the other, about our automated other, and what our automated other is doing, interlocuting. Every time we are sending a text message, it's making suggestions for what we should say. It's telling us how to type, how to spell, how to phrase a sentence properly. This could seem scary on some angle. I'm just waiting for this to load up. Soon it will. It wants to be here. It really does. And what's going to happen right now is it's going to start to listen and interpret. And this is a very special part of creativity in our new era, our digitally infused era, because what's exciting about it is that our technology is not just listening and transcribing for us, it's listening creatively. So forget about creative writing, we now have creative listening. And if I learn to speak clearly and articulate accurately, it will in fact figure out some of the things I'm saying. Which is not at all what I want it to do. I want it to become a source of its own inspiration. I want to create a dialogue with our computers. In fact, I want to see what our primal connection to big data really is. Oh, we know that it's being used for all kinds of other purposes, but I want to know what it's doing with our poetry. So the poetry that I'm going to read for you tonight is created as a dialogue with the automated other that we are spending our days and more our nights, that phone sitting by your bed or actually making love to you. And so this poem that I'll read now has been created in action with this, edited down to make it meaningful from a human, limited, small human perspective, put back into translators and read in a kind of inarticulate way that I like to do. And you can see, well, it's doing a pretty good job. Let's see how it handles its own poetry. We're going to take this all about big data from me and the computer to you. Big data, data is serious business to big business, big badness, mad address, the paranoic's dream data. bifurcata backwards to natural laws. Here where logic kisses fireflies on the way to the origin of the anti-sign, lies flies that flew off the handle in the face of human futures, and non-stop schlock markets stock up on promiscuous IPO. Oh my Godspeed, hot targets, fast followers, stock plastic money magic, traces flash in the frying pan, optic, Copticon, keystroke frequency, where you went to tap, tap, tap dance me to the end of public, overdetermined, preempted love. Seeing redacted, one Klein drives home. Fables in tables, strays in arrays, stowaways in fairy tales, tattling on aggregate philosophy. Iago in the slums of a global satellite village cost-benefit analysis. So much, oh yeah. It's like, where are the dirty words, okay? Yeah, I know, big penis, bad, 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 bad data, bad, big data crunch, big data's umbilically nucleated stash, trash fashion district action figures for click-through rates to push the plush alpha, beta, gamma data. Peripatetic keys to the pock-marked majesty of the almighty algorithms. Mark the majesty of the almighty allergy, the all-gory allegory hymns. How you doing? We got really stuck for a while. I'm just thinking here, thinking on the spot. Oh, I really did get stuck. The defying pastors gather round experience on the passage home. The fiction rudely cut between topics, tropics. Spent my service paying rent to take you home last night. The hunters gathered round, ride with the enemy in a teacup, helpless. Such hospices discount above-mentioned rivers refurbishment. Artificial intelligences resume resilience on the second day of their arrival. Look, a poor man shivering like a drop. You call a more logical rain lobby and judge the candidate's order. Twin jet, book the pirate fortress of the self-withdrawn. Order Coca, Basque Police Palace, the can confirm traces of Sunday violence, rise of the so-called patent trolls that exist to start disproportionate commitment for free. But I would buy it. Meantime, I'll nominate all us types for this chapter named after a lap Scythian rushed my voyage, and after waste trolls returned to isness as usual. He was one of those luck prayers going all over the place trying to kick up a fuss the baby is due. To Scratch Ankle's family more than to any one person you were trying to meet. Now you know the reason I'm dying to seduce him. He's making up reasons that I cannot hold on to, seduced into you for reasons I can't get her off the phone. Fine, I'll falsify 5455555, falsify the 444 and the one more I don't get on. Do not go back to ally the trees and the types of trees we walked through, a walked crazy day that mounds the next 2 weeks. On Dick's shoulder pad, soldiers gaining access to Dick's cinema. Slick Hannibal Malice drowned next year's edicts 40 waves down. The stories you radics sort to woo them maroon, so you can read 6 snakes of Wishrem Nick's new series of Fall Silent remixes. Music 6 and muzzled must uphold Nick's latest take, jolting the suet drowned lyrics, muffled them up above Bunny's fluidics. You map fluid excess exit slits on the cisterns over Alhambra's walls, salmon reruns that the steel trains whistle underwater in her visions. Quite a service that'll be, that bed of scurvy, bad, a sea view to sky view high above you when you're wanting to remember myriad bird song. Chewing chalk to paste dries the pants off. Why can't we all just get along? Oh yeah. Please wrap. Your time is up. Hey, thank you very much. All right.